Okay, year 5, this is just a super quick video to remind you about finding common denominators. I hope you can see this okay. I'm back on my wardrobe using my sheet of paper on my wardrobe. But I just want you to have a look at this. So sometimes when you have to find common denominators, they are quite nice, whoever comes up with these questions. And they give us denominators where there is a clear link between them all. So we have 7/10, 4/5 and 8/20. So I can see 10, 5 and 20. And we know that all of these have a link with 20 because we know our 5 times tables and we know our 10 times tables because we've been doing them since year 1, year 2. So it's pretty clear that our common denominator for this particular one is going to be 20. So I'm going to have to change the 10th to 20. I'm going to change the 5th to 20. And obviously this one, I do not need to change because it's already in 20ths. Okay, so let's have a look now. So here I have 7/10. So I times 10 by 2 to get to 20. Therefore, I must do the same to the numerator. We've done this a lot now. So that becomes 14/20. If I move on to my 4/5, I times 5 by 4 to get me to 20. So I must do the same to the numerator, times it by 4, and I get 16. So now what I can do is I can compare them and see which one is the smallest, which one's the largest, and I can put them in order. So I have 14/20, 16/20 and 8/20. Which one of these is the smallest out of the fractions? It is the 8/20. So when I'm ordering them, I'm going to go back to the original fractions at the top and I'm going to put them in order. So I have 8/20. Right, now I need to look next. So I have 14/20 would come next, but I need to give the original fraction. Okay, so I have 7/10. And then the largest fraction would be 16 out of 20, 16/20. But I must give the original fraction, which works out being 4/5. So there, I have successfully found my common denominators and ordered my fractions correctly. But this next piece of paper that I'm going to show you might have caused you a little bit of confusion. Okay, sorry, it's a bit noisy. So have a look at this one. Okay, I have 5/9, 4/6 and 2/3. Okay, you might be able to see a link between 3 and 6, and you can see a link between 3 and 9. And you might think, but hang on a minute, there's no clear link between 6 and 9. Okay, so sometimes you're a little bit naughty and you have to think a little bit more. So what you needed to do, if you got a question like this yesterday, which I do believe you did have one like this, you need to think about the multiples of all of these. So let's go 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, etc, etc. Multiples of 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. And 9s, 9, 8, 27, 36, etc. So we have to find a common multiple to use as our common denominator. So what is the same about all of them? Well, they all share 18 as a multiple. So that is going to be your common denominator. Okay, so let's work on that. So we need to change this one to 18ths. I'm going to have to change this one to 18ths, and I'm going to have to change this one to 18ths. So it doesn't always give you the denominator that you need. Sometimes you have to think of a different denominator just think about it for yourself, okay? So let's carry on with this, and then we can put them in order once we have them converted into 18ths as equivalent fractions. So 9 times 2 is 18. So I must do the same to the numerator. So 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 3 is 18. So I must do the same to the top, times it by 3, and I get 12. And then 3 times 6 is 18. I must do the same to the top, 2 times 6 is 12. Now, obviously, you don't have to do all these arrows. I just do them to give you a little bit of a helping hand. You might be able to do it in your head, and that's absolutely fine. So now, no, I made a mistake. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, I thought I made a mistake with my 2 12/18ths here. So if I were to compare these then, we have 10/18ths is the smallest fraction. So that would be our 5/9 because we always go back to the original. And then 4/6 and 2/3 are exactly the same. They're exactly the same size. They are equivalent fractions. I should have seen that when I was making up the question, but never mind. Okay, but there you go. The main point is converting to our common denominators. And just remember, sometimes we have to do an extra step and there isn't a clear link between the denominators, and you have to try and work it out by yourself using multiples. I hope that makes sense. So have a great day. Try really hard with your next math session. It is in 2 parts again, so we're taking it nice and slowly, and see how you get on. Okay, so see you tomorrow.